Is a feeling of loss of freedom normal in a relationship? Can you not intentionally carve out some time for yourself? There's nothing wrong with wanting some alone time while still loving your partner. You have to step up and say that you want your time and space for certain things. Just open up and talk. It's common but not normal. Meaning there is some compromise, of course, but one shouldn't feel they have given up on their personal freedom. From what you are saying, you have given up everything and she's given up nothing. So it's not normal for her. Have a conversation with her. Every relationship has compromises, but you don't have to clean or go to bed when she says. You should also carve out personal time for yourself. But don't expect it to be like before. If that's what you want, then you need to be single. Are you truly happy with your partner? That's a deal breaker for me. I need my own time. I can't be someone's everything. Which almost sounds like what you are doing. I love spending time with the people I love. If I don't, then it doesn't feel like a connection anymore. Which makes me wonder what I'm doing with said person. Even if I do enjoy all my time with someone. If I don't get personal time to do whatever I feel like doing, bad juju happens. It's part of the deal. You're merging your lives. Her freedom is compromised also. That said, it sounds a bit lopsided to me. Why do you agree on a time to sleep? For example, my wife often goes to bed earlier than I do. There are things we do together and things we do individually. There are multiple TVs. So if we want to watch something different, we can do so. It's not necessary, nor particularly healthy, to spend every waking minute together. Sounds to me like you haven't set the boundaries in your relationship yet. Or what you have said are tilted in her favor. I would address this sooner rather than later. Because you do not want to be trapped for years in an unsatisfactory relationship. Honestly, it sounds like either you still have some maturing to do. You moved in together too quick. Or she's not right for you at this point in your life. In my experience, it's a gradual change. When you start your relationship, you start losing some element of freedoms, and as you get more serious, you lose more. Then when you have a kid, all freedom is gone. However, just moving in together doesn't mean you have to do everything together. My husband never watches my shows with me. He goes and plays a video game in the other room, or he watches something he wants to watch in the bedroom. If my parents are in town and he already had plans, he says, "Oh sorry, I already had plans." If I'm tired before him, I go to bed while he watches TV in the living room. Sure, there are things we have to do on the weekend. But it's stuff you'd have to do anyway if you were single. Laundry, grocery shopping, cleaning. Only it's better because you're splitting that stuff up instead of doing it by yourself. Same goes for cooking. It sounds like you guys are trying to do everything together. Don't do that. You can cook Monday and Wednesday. She can cook Tuesday and Thursday. Whoever doesn't cook does the dishes. You do your own thing on Fridays and then have a date night Saturday. Whatever it is, make a schedule that works for you too. It can change every week, just don't try and always be doing everything together. That's insanity. Chores? Divide and conquer. You handle the bathroom, she does the kitchen. Then you clean on your own schedule without worrying about when she's doing hers. Sounds perfectly normal to me after 15 years of marriage. My advice is to get your own hobby or exercise regime and give yourself, me, time. I like to smoke weed in the evening and go for long walks by myself or watch a movie after she goes to bed. Whereas my wife volunteers for various organizations and uses her time that way. Wow. Sounds really controlled. Bro. You are an individual with own feelings, own needs and own opinions. Surely you try to talk this out. But as she don't do anything favorable in your direction, you should think through this relationship with her all in all. Ask yourself if you want to have own hobbies and thoughts, or if you want to outsource everything to her. I for myself would rather be alone than in such a constricting relationship. Don't get me wrong here. I am not saying men's are alphas. Women have to follow. You always have a willingness to compromise in a healthy relationship. But this has to be in both directions, not only in a one way. Sometimes you need to stand your ground of what you want and what not, and sometimes you need to follow her will, and sometimes you need to commit on a compromise. It needs to be balanced. Otherwise you will be stuck sooner or later in a relationship where every single thing is her choice. Try to talk to her about your feelings, and when you don't have the feeling this is going the right direction, you should think about moving on. Many women out there matching with you in this matter. Based on your replies, it seems the relationship is not worth it. An easy example is a dad watching his son play Little League baseball. One dad says, "This is awesome," the other sees it as a task. Guess which one loves being a dad? Relationships are something that are a constant work of art. When you are laying the base of your masterpiece, things may look and feel a little unaligned or even awkward. But as you slowly move things around, compromise things with each other, and fit things together with each other's likes, feelings, emotions and personality, you should settle into a comfortable groove with each other. Here's a story. My story. I've been with my wife for 20 years now. We love each other dearly. But it wasn't always this way. It started great, and then we moved in with each other. This is what I thought was the end. I sleep only about 4 hours a night. She sleeps no less than 9 hours a night, so when I would come to bed later than her, it would disturb her. Or when I would wake and leave the bed in the morning, it would disturb and wake her. This caused arguments daily. I returned to my folks several nights due to the argument. Until one day I decided I would buy a new bed and set it up in the spare room about 6 months after we moved in together. 8 years later we got married. We have 3 kids, and we still sleep in separate rooms. Okay, I'm gonna give a little insight into the other side. My husband and I have had this exact argument. Neither of us opened our eyes to the other side until we fought about it. He's used to doing whatever, whenever. I have a schedule one adhere to, even if it doesn't seem scheduled. Take our nights and weekends. We errand all Saturday together. Come home, clean the house 100%, and spend Sunday relaxing. If I nap, he naps with me. If I go to bed, he does too. It was never necessary for me to have him come to bed at the same time as me, because I get up at 5:30 and he really doesn't have to get up until 7. I always let him know when I'm going to bed. I let him know what I want to watch on TV at night too. If he starts cleaning, I get motivated to clean too. But always a different part of the house. He told me once that we don't always have to do everything together, and that he doesn't get alone time anymore. He was reading into me a bit wrong. Me letting him know I'm gonna watch something or go to bed doesn't mean he is obligated to do the same. But I feel rude just going to bed and not saying something to him. He also has every right to change the channel, as I often multitask and like background entertainment for while I'm thinking or watching an unskippable cutscene for the 5th time. But if he wants the TV, he is more than welcome to take the remote. And this is a big but, we had to talk to each other. We didn't, so it blew up into an argument. He wanted more time to just do his own thing, which I have always been fine with, and I wanted him to know that I value our time together, even with the mundane things. So now, we just communicate better. If he's feeling like alone time, he just lets me know and I'm cool with it. Not that I was ever really on top of him about it. I just like a good cuddle while we hang out on the couch. And if I want a bit more us time, I let him know. Nor was he ignoring us time. We just haven't had a lot of it lately. Sometimes couples get out of sync. Have a nice, calm chat about it. A relationship lives from compromise. It's normal to make arrangements so the daily life works for the both of you. From your post, I would assume you didn't talk with your partner yet about your situation. And I would advise you should do so. She probably also feels like giving up her freedom in a way. Normal. You need to keep your established routines and not start to shadow live her life. Otherwise you will become resentful. And it won't be her fault. I recommend you sit down alone and make a written list of activities that are important to you. Then write out your normal single life schedule. The things you did from wake to sleep when you lived alone. Find a way to modify that schedule for your coupled life, while including most of the items from your important list. You may not be able to watch all your shows every week, but if you get 2 and she gets 2, that's fair. And so on. Tell her you need your own time and space. My partner and I moved in together in December and I was so scared about losing my personal freedoms, but what happens is we get home from work and he goes and does his thing and I go and do my thing. We don't have a bedtime. We're grown-ass adults who choose when to go to bed individually. If he wants to watch something on telly, cool. I'll go do something else. Yeah, we sometimes spend the weekend doing things we have to do. But it's only occasionally and often I'll just go out myself. We've been together 6 years though. So the honeymoon, must be with them at all times, phase that usually happens in new relationships, has long since gone. Long before we moved in together. We're happy knowing the other is happy doing their own thing. We don't keep tabs on each other. We'll pop in and see each other every so often, but we rarely sit around the house doing things together just for the sake of being together. Talk to her. Tell her you need your own personal free time. If she reacts badly to that, that would be a bit of a red flag for me. You don't want someone being dependent on you just to exist. It's not about the person. It's about you. Why do these feel limiting? Relationships are partnerships, and if you aren't comfortable doing these things and your partner doesn't want to do them alone, then you need to be single. It's called commitment. As long as the other person allows you to take your own time sometimes and occasionally veto an idea or excuse yourself, you just gotta deal with it. You're building a future with this person. Happened to me at 25. A lot had to change, but it was well worth the pain in the short term. Your focuses will naturally change. Embrace it and enjoy the little things. Also, make sure you do schedule time away with friends or to do you things. I hate to say it, but if video games are your thing, you're going to have an issue either way. It's still possible, but those 9-hour stints are sadly a thing of the past. You need to weigh your freedom against your relationship obligations. Many people have too little productivity, or not enough fulfillment from lonely endeavors, and welcome another in their lives to fill up the time. Others find everything around them a hurdle to what they want to do. Even if that thing is no obstacles to prevent me doing from something I might want to do. Sounds like you're in a hostage situation and not a relationship. My dad's current marriage is the exact same way. Either do what she wants or else. Hi. So I felt like this the first time I moved in with a guy and our relationship deteriorated within 3 to 6 months of living together. In my next relationship, I waited 4 to 5 years before moving in together because I was scared it might ruin things. It was totally fine and with the right person. I didn't feel that way at all. Did you move in with both people quickly? Not to say that's a reason it's not. I'm just curious if you can figure out similarities between the two situations to try to figure out what the issue seems to be.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.